So we will commence. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Ananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyo Binamo Namah Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Madiprabodhan Vadan Nirasya Kritavan Bhuvitattvavadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Ananda Tirtha Munivaryaham Namami Pujyaya Raghavendraya Satya Dharma Rataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadenuve Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavatitamashtu Vavishvidavahaihi Om Shanti 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 Ata Isavasya Upanishadaha Yajnaya Upanishadaha Shanti Pataha Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Namaskaram. Last two weeks we have seen the Sadhana Kanda, verse number 9 and verse number 10, the mantra number 9 and mantra number 10. See, Andam Tama Pravishanti Ye Vidyam Upasate Tatu Bhuye Ivate Tamoya Vidyaya Rataha. And then we came to the next 10th. Anyadevahur Vidyaya Anyadarahur Avidyaya Iti Shushruma Dhiranam Yenastat Vijachakshire. See, both we have seen, it has given the concept as to we have continuously been learning Vidya and Avidya, both are necessary. And in effect, we should not be neglecting the world and go only to the spiritual path. Nor we can neglect the Almighty and the sadhana and go only with the world. Neither is possible. We will have to have both. This concept has been very well defined, because I will come to first, as we discussed, I will go to Padacheda of the next mantra 11, which we will be going for that. So this concept has been very well enunciated in all our scriptures. Both are necessary and all. Because you cannot neglect with the other, because you have got karmendriyas, jnanendriyas and all the panchabhutas. They are making you experience the world and live in this world. There are 24 elements which we discussed last time. Because of these 24 elements, you are able to experience the world as well as absorb the knowledge. Even when you have to do the sadhana, whatever is required for your sadhana, you are able to absorb only through these 24. Without these 24 elements, without these karmendriyas, jnanendriyas and panchabhutas of which we are made of, and all the navadwaras through which our entire life prana can come and go, it has got the entry and exit for that. Without that, we will not be able to do that. Once you have taken that, once you have got that benefit of learning all the sadhanas, you absorb it and go towards your internal journey. That is only possible for the Manushya Janma, which we last time we saw. That is, this has been given to us. This is a boon to us. The animals can't do it. All other plants and other creatures, sentients and insentients, they can't do it. But we have been given an opportunity. We can do that. See, in fact, in Gita also, Bhagavad Gita also, he says, this chapter number 7, verse number 2, the Bhagavan says, Jnanam idam sa vijnanam idam vakshemi aseshataha yad jnanatva neha bhujjanat jnanat vavyam avasishyate. You have to have both this knowledge. Once you know both this avidya and vidya, there is nothing else to be known. That's what he says. You have to know. Once you have known, you know how to go about it. So this will help you to further take off. So now we will go to the mantra number 11. It is going to give the same concept. It will also give you some startling thrust to the entire propensity of this knowledge. I will just recite the mantra and I will also recite this Padacheta, tell the meaning, and then we will go into the nectar, which is in this mantra, which has given the golden nuggets in this mantra. We will go for that. Vidyam cha avidyam cha yastat vedo bayang saha. Avidyaya mrityum tritva vidyaya amrutam asnute. Vidyam cha vidyam cha yastaddevo bayang saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amrutam asnute. See, vidya, what is it? Exact yathartha knowledge. Vidya is vidyam, exact yathartha knowledge. Cha and avidyaya, that is false knowledge. False knowledge in the sense we are experiencing the world, we tend to gain the happiness as well as some sufferings, unpleasant and unpleasant moments. That is avidya, because that is one, avidya is not that going, it's not going to be permanent. It is impermanent, transient. This will go off. But your inward journey, you are going towards a permanent bliss, because you have got the internal controller and you have got the manas buddhi, intellect is there. Then you have got the chitta. Chitta, we said, it's a repository of all your experiences. See, when we say sthita prajna, his chitta has accumulated so much of righteous knowledge, so much of righteous practices, he can't get any false knowledge. In fact, it has become so full, the vessel is so full, nothing can go and fill it. So that is the level he has attained it. We are trying to do the same thing. Once we have it, then we will be able to be anywhere and everywhere, and we will be able to identify which is the permanent knowledge, which is the impermanent knowledge. Cha and ya hu tat. Yastat devo, that. Yastat vedaha, yastat veda do. Veda is knowing. Our knowledge is basically, Veda is called, because Veda is the primal knowledge. Basically, it expounds the Omkara. From Omkara, we discussed earlier, that Omkara has been expanded into the huge tree of knowledge, Upanishad and Vedanta. When that knowledge, when we know from Omkara, the seed, the entire thing has come about, when that knowledge comes to us, Ubayamaha, both, Vidyam cha avidyam cha yastat vedo ubayang saha. Ubayang, that is the Saha is, it is like together, that is the simple meaning what we can see. But Srimad Acharya has given a very, very great meaning of Eka Purushartha Bhava. There is only one Purushartha, the one Swatantra. Because he is the one who is creating the creatures kalpa after kalpa, yuga after yuga, given the sharira, given all the faculties. He is also controller. He is enabling you to know what is permanent and impermanent knowledge. He is enabling you. He is continuously helping you. He is watching you. He is coming to your help whenever it is required, provided you go to him. That is your inward journey. When you are able to do upasana, when you are able to do sadhana, when you are able to absorb the right knowledge from the scriptures and reject whatever is impermanent false knowledge, then he says, but he is always waiting for you. But it is for you to go. This he has been doing. That is the greatness of the primordial power. Avidya, we have seen against the criticism of false knowledge or rejection of false knowledge, impermanent knowledge. Mrityum, death. Death is not exactly death when the conventional understanding what we will have. This is undesirable sufferings and ignorance. Once you reject avidya, once you know vidya, you are able to get off the sufferings and undesirable feelings, undesirable bhaya, dukkha and all, because they are all, because that will go off, that veil will go off. Once you take out the impermanent knowledge, these are all nothing to be worried of, because we have got some great journey to do, because in fact there is one beautiful Devaranama is there. Alliyada namma mane illirve summane. Because you have to go towards that particular abode. Here, you keep whatever is happening is as a witness, as a participant, as a sort of a player. That's all. But don't make it affect you. Whatever happens, be it in your own family, outside, or even society, even some other circles where you have to interact. Whatever happens it is happening. But you are not going to be affected. Like a lotus. That bhava, once it comes, you can live anywhere. Any part of the world, anywhere. You can lead a secluded life. You can be with the family. Or you can go and do separate, because you can do Badrinath or elsewhere and live for 1 month, 2 months, come back, tapas and all. Or even you can go about, you can live with the youngsters, you can move with the youngsters. There is no, of course, generation gap. You will be able to talk to them same lingo. If they are talking about Cliff Richards, you will also talk about Cliff Richards. And if they are talking about Carnatic music, you will also now talk about Carnatic music. You will also get it, you will enjoy it. See, you are going to give whatever is there. The life is to give whatever you have. We have reached that stage. And they are in a stage, youngsters, they have to get. Because they are in the stage of accumulating their knowledge. And when they interact with us, they also get. In that process, we also get. Because, the knowledge is such a ocean. We are still picking up the pebbles on the seashore, as Isaac Newton has said. We have to go miles and miles. We have to walk across miles. Even what we know is not even a pin drop. But we will have to know that much. And we also enhance ourselves. It's a continuous process. See, life is a continuous journey. That's why when they say yata yata hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, when it says continuous journey. See, it is never a goal. It is never a sort of a destination. The life is never a destination. It is a journey. That journey you will learn to enjoy. And the journey when you are enjoying without getting affected by that, that is the beautiful journey. Finally, you will be able to get into your inward journey so blissfully. Having tirtva, having overcome, crossed over, all this avidya and all, vidya by means of correct knowledge, amrtam, moksham, character is bliss. It's moksham in the sense bliss, continuous happiness. You can see some people, they can be happy at any circumstances, even if they have gone into some sort of a tragic circumstances also. They will try to, because uplift the spirit of others. Others will think this fellow is not serious. He's coming and he is still that doesn't have the sense. Because we are affected by that. He may be equally affected, but then he has taken it in the right sense. Because by being affected, you can't change whatever has happened. The life is Jagrati. It is continuously changing. When you mean birth, it also denotes the end. When you mean death, it also denotes the birth of something else. Because something else happens, and maybe I think, not only our birth, some other new element has come into beings, and new beings are going to come. And the Bhagavan has created. The soul is permanent. It is going to be permanent yuga after yuga, kalpa after kalpa. Your soul is indestructible. It is going to be there forever. There is nothing for that. As they say, you are only leaving the shirt and your clothes. It is like that. Once you have that understanding and all, you know what is niyama. It is happening as per the niyati. The people will be happy at any circumstance. Even when the happiness comes also, they will not take it, because this is a transient moment, it will go off. Once it goes, when you get something else, it gives the reason to look for something else, craving. Trishna, when it comes, you got craving for something else. Once it comes, again it gives a Trishna. As long as you don't get anything, it's good that you don't have to have any Trishna. This is it. That is, once you reach a stage, well, enough is enough. What we have enough is good. We are contented. If possible, we will try to help someone who is in need or something like that. Otherwise, as far as we are concerned, we are perfectly happy, perfectly sufficient. We do have enough. Once that feeling is there, nothing will affect you. Finally, amrutam ashnute. Finally, you attain that blissful stage once you know what is avidya. A true spiritual clearly understands the realms of avidya and vidya because you have experienced it. The experience has gone, and what you have experienced right from the beginning over a period of time, you have understood what is really to be impermanent and permanent. That understanding initially when we don't have, then we have all that, because when we are in studies or when we are getting a job, we look, we will have to get this stage. We will have to get this particular thing. Because that is our goal. But once you reach it, it's not going to be satisfied. There will be something else will be there. It is a continuous journey we have done. In that process, what we have done all our skills in doing that. In that process, we have also done our duties. Duties to us, duties to families, duties to our parents, duties to the society, everything we have done. But while doing that, when you understand, you will still continue to do the duties, but without any expectations, anticipations, or any craving. When that stage comes, it is life is, because for you it's a matter of fact. When you are doing, still, you may be still helping someone else to fight a case, someone else to get something done somewhere in the banks or elsewhere, you will do it, but you will do it as a matter of fact without affected, and you are not going to be affected the gain or loss or anything like that. If the other person, if he is happy, you will also be happy, but then you will be looking for someone else to help, because that is a continuous process. That continuous bliss, once you get it, that is the integral sadhana. The integral sadhana is the spiritual practice leads the seeker to the enlightenment. The combination of selfless action, which comes over a period of time, you understand the permanency and impermanency of the knowledge. Once it comes, everything whatever you do will be a sort of a blissful thing only. And even if you have to face some obstruction, you will not take it as an obstruction. There is a way out, and it's a best endeavor. So you don't have to go and struggle yourself to take it away, and you do the best endeavor. And once you do it with your own effort and with your own sincerity, be assured he is there to give you his grace and help you out. There is nothing that will not be happening once you have submitted yourself sincerely. That happens. But only thing is, you have to submit. When you are submitting, that itself is upasana towards your inward journey. See, in this context, I just wanted to bring one particular scripture, which is not which is not so popular like all other scriptures. In fact, last time also I mentioned during our that Valmiki Ramayana also in a passing, there is a scripture called Vasishta. Yoga Vasishta is a scripture which doesn't has been considered to be sort of a part of all the scriptures, because a lot of speculation is there. See, Ramayana has got only 24,000 verses. This Yoga Vasishta has got 32,000 verses, and there are 3 versions. One is having 29,000 verses, another is having 32,000 verses, one more is having 36,000 verses. This Yoga Vasishta is basically why it has not been taken sort of into the mainstream of strictures, because there is a lot of speculative, because it's supposed to have been written by Valmiki, but there is no authenticity, or people have not accepted, the scholars over a period of time. They are speculating, it could be, it may be, it may not be, something like that. But it has got so beautiful knowledge to be learned from there. One of the reasons why it has not become popular is, whoever has finally taken it, these 32,000 people couldn't read, and it was also not available everywhere. One Abhinava Gupta, way back in some 8-9 centuries before, in Kashmiri Pandit, he has reduced it to 6,000 versions called Lagu Yoga Vasishta. In Lagu Yoga Vasishta, he has brought that 6,000 verses. 36,000, he couldn't make anything less than 6,000, he has made it. That is still being looked into and all. Basically, it gives a slant, gives the sort of Advaitic slant. It is also giving Mahayana Buddhist slant. It is also giving Samkhya Yoga slant. It is also giving the yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra slant. All of them combined together. So since it has got all these things, people have not taken it, it could be a speculative writing or whatever it is. It has been proven, when Surendranath Dasgupta, it is a very, very famous historian, world-renowned historian, who has given the credentials to the dating of all our Vedas, Upanishads and all those things. He has said this style of writing in Yoga Vasishta is that of period of Shankara as well as that of the Kalidasa. So the scriptures are so written in such a classic poetic language. It is so beautiful written, you can't reject it. At least as a Mahakavya, you can take it. Irrespective of it, it has got lot of knowledge we can derive. It has got lot of anecdotes. It has got lot of stories. It is supposed to have been, Vasishta is supposed to have taught Rama when he has taken him from Dasharatha to his Gurukulam. And there are certain things, I don't think these things are not established in Valmiki Ramayana. But this based on this only, this Yoga Vasishta slokas are made, because it is 32,000 slokas. Someone has made it. Whoever has made it, he has taken everything into account. The Rama was not initially totally, because willing to take up this worldly life. That's what, it gives an indication. when he learnt all the scriptures and all, what is this world is going to be impermanent. Though he is Mahavishnu Avatara, but he is in the Narajan. He has taken a Narajanma. So he is behaving like a Nara. He is behaving like a real human being. He says, what is this world? He's apathetic to the world. Why should I go there? And then Vasishta gives him the Upasana. He gives him the teachings. It's not that you have to take this and you will have to live in this world. You will have to know Vidya and all those things. He says like that. Actually, the first, this Yoga Vasishta, when it starts, the first chapter, it says there is one Rishi called Sudikshana. Sudikshana is a Rishi. He comes in Ramayana also. When Rama in Aranyakanda, before meeting Agastya, first he meets Sudikshana. Sudikshana is supposed to be disciple of Agastya. So when he meets Sudikshana, he only directs him to Agastya. This is for the information. Valmiki Ramayana, this is only the reference. In the Yoga Vasishta, the Sudikshana is the disciple of Agastya. He asks Agastya, look, I have been, you are teaching me all the scriptures, all the knowledge. I am also trying to learn as best as possible. And I will have to do karma in this world. Whether karma is important or Ishvara Jnana, the Paragyana, whether that is important, which one I should choose. He is also somewhat apathetic towards the worldly life. Then Agastya tells him, look, it is not that you may be having a dislike for this worldly life, but you will have to have. He gives the first sort of sloka in the first chapter of Yoga Vasishta is Ubabhayam eva pakshabhyam. This is what Agastya says to his question. Ubabhyam eva pakshabhyam yata ke pakshina gatihi. Ubabhyam eva pakshabhyam. See, Pakshi, it does have two wings. Ubabhyam, it has got two wings. Both wings are there. It has to flap both wings to take off as well as to take up its journey. Yatha ke pakshina gatihi. Likewise, how Pakshis use both the wings, tataiva jnana karmabhyam jayate paramam padam. Tataiva jnana karmabhyam jayate paramam padam. Ubhabhyam eva pakshabhyam yatha ke pakshina gatihi. Tataiva jnana karmabhyam jayate paramam padam. Like the birds, they have to use both the wings to take off. Avidya and Vidya, when you are living in this world, you get to know the knowledge. Knowing the knowledge, you imbibe it, incorporate it, internalize it. By doing that, you flap both the wings and you find which way to go. When you have to turn right, you will have to move your body 45 degrees up. If you are turning left, you will have to do left. If you will have to do right, you will have to do right. Everything it does. But it has to have both. Like that, you will have to have Avidya and Vidya. Both of them, you will have to know this knowledge. See, when it is said, then yes, he goes about, he does his upasana and other things. In the same Yoga Vasishta, one more instance has been quoted, how the permanence and impermanence of this worldly life, that is another instance they have given in the first two, in this, following this one only. There is a celestial nymph, angel, we call nymph, those nymphs, celestial nymph, devatas, Suruchi, she is Indra's nymph. One day she was standing in one of the cliffs of Himalayas. When she was standing in the cliffs of Himalayas, one Indra Duta was flying. So out of curiosity, she asked, where are you flying to? And he said, no, I have already been there to the destination, I am going back. Then he said, where did you go? Indraduta says, I went to Gandhamadana Parvata. Gandhamadana Parvata is where Rama also goes in Valmiki Ramayana. He has got that. There, one Agnivesha, one Rishi is there, Agnivesha. Agnivesha, he has got a Karunmaya. He has got a son called Karunmaya. That he is giving Upadesa to him. That Karunmaya also, whatever he tells, he is not active. He also takes, the worldly life. Why should I get into worldly life and other things? Then for this, the Agnivesha Rishi, he says, look, because there is one particular instance I will tell you. That particular instance will lighten up your load, that why you should get apathetic to the world, you will know the reality of knowledge. There is one Raja Arishtanemi. He is also Raja as well as a Rishi. He is a good Raja. He has governed his place. Finally, what he decided, look, I have had enough. He hands over his kingdom to his son, and he goes to the Gandhamadana Parvata, where exactly this Agnivesha is doing. His son, Karunmai, both of them are there. He goes to that another part of the Gandhamadana Parvata, and he is waiting there doing tapas. Look, I have had enough. Now I will be doing my tapas only towards the Almighty. He goes about his own the path of inward journey. He does all upasana. Having pleased with his upasana, Indra has sent this messenger. So you ask him to come to that Swarga, Indraloka. Let him come, and because he has already become eligible, so let him come and stay, and it is his place. So we should go and bring him. So to invite him, that messenger had come. This Arishtanemi, the Raja Rishi, he asked him, what is that I am going to get? And he said, once you come, then you will get all, whatever bliss, whatever enjoyment you had in this world, all these things will come. All this, once you have everything done, and once you blissfully live there, and you can exhaust all your punyas there, and maybe after that you may have to come to the world again. Then the king Arishtanemi said, I don't want to come to such impermanent thing. Why should I come? Because I tell Indra I am not coming. You please go. He sent back. So when that messenger was getting back, this Suruchi saw that. And she was exclaiming, oh, this is it and all. Then not only that, then Indra immediately comes. I think some mic has to be muted. Balraman. So mic has to be muted. So when he was going back, and Indra himself comes, having sent the messenger, why this Raja Arishtanemi is not coming to Swarga? So let him go and personally invite him. He comes with the messenger back to Gandhamadana Parvata. He tells him, why don't you come? You are eligible for that. He said, I don't want to come to this impermanent thing. Once I get exhausted again, I will have to come. What is the fun? I don't want to get all this enjoyment there. I have it enough. I want to get into the permanent redemption only. And all. Then Indra has taken, because then Indra has asked this Arishtanemi, taken him to Bharadwaja, the Rishi, who is the disciple of Valmiki. Tell him, Bharadwaja, Muni, you take him, he wants to have the permanent knowledge. Then he says, the best person to know is Valmiki, who has written the Yoga Vasishta, where Vasishta has imparted the knowledge to the God, Rama himself. You get that, finally you will get that redemption. Finally he was taken to Valmiki, and Valmiki imparts him the Yoga Vasishta, and after that he attained the redemption. This is the story about it. So here also, as the Agnivesha has told, as well as the king Arishtanemi has told, Arishtanemi has already enjoyed this world. He said, once you come to Swarga, you will get all the benefits, whatever you are getting in this world, you can enjoy. He said, I don't want it. I had enough. So that is, you were able to reject that avidya at that level when he was offered. That is the highest point. Towards that knowledge only we will have to go for that. That selflessness, when it comes, then it takes you, whatever be when you are even eligible, that is what, even when you get vidya, all upasanas you do, by reason of which you get even Swarga, even that is not important. That will give you some momentary immortality. It is a sort of temporary immortality. You need a final immortality. For that you have to continuously do. One who knows proper, correct knowledge and also criticizes the false knowledge, for him, he overcomes suffering, and he rejects even small impermanent pleasures are offered to him. He finally goes to the final redemption. That is what our Acharya has said, Narayana Manamayam. So when the entire mana is full of Narayana, see, we can ask how entire mana can be full of Narayana. There was one real life instance. In this world, it has happened in the last century. It has happened that Aurobindo Ghosh, before he became a realized great rishi, he was also revolutionary. He was he was sort of charged with a seduction case. There is one Alipur conspiracy case is there, very famous case, in which he was supposed to have been awarded the death sentence by the British in those days. He has come to India, he is highly educated. He was the head of the Department of Baroda later, but he was in Shantiniketan. He has just came from Cambridge. But of course, he had the nationalism, and then, he joined with the nationalists. Finally, he was charged. When he was in the courtroom, and the prosecutor was gone listing out the charges against him, one after the other and all. And he is a very eloquent orator. His knowledge is stupendous. If you see this, Aurobindo's writings, unparalleled in this country. And the judge was looking at him. He didn't answer anything and all. After 2.5, 3 hours, 3 continuous days of argument, fourth day was there, when finally they have to give a judgment to him. They asked him, what do you want to say now? I don't want to say anything. That's what Aurobindo said. Why? What it appear? Prosecutor has, have you not heard him? He has listed out the charges and all. For him, everyone looks same. For him, he said these very words. He looks like Narayana. You are looking like Narayana. The witnesses look like Narayana. Even if I go to the jail, the jailer will look like Narayana. For me, it doesn't make any difference. And they asked him, even he didn't give any statement in defense of his charges at all. And finally, the judge realized, after all, he is such a erudite man. He knows Spanish. He has originally read the Greek literature. He is something, even a lot of English people don't know that much of a Greek and Latin as Aurobindo has known. He has such a mastery. He is a phenomenal mind. So they had a lot of respect for him, the judges, the British judge also. Finally, they said, we can't do anything. And when he was taken to the confinement also, he didn't have anything, he didn't have apathy, or he said, he went with the same bliss and all. Finally, they thought, this gentleman is beyond anyone's, he will not understand the sentence also, he will not understand the offense also. Even if he is freed, he will not understand that also. They left him at that. And when it was in a limbo only, finally he got out and he went to Pondicherry, which was in French regime. He established. Finally, it became, mother also came later from France. It all happened. That is the Svabhava. See, how he has got it, he has just then immersed himself into literature, scriptures. He has seen, Isavasya Upanishad. First commentary he wrote in 1906, when in this before this episode only. And he has gone through the Mahabharata. He wrote all the secrets of Veda, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, and he has analyzed everything. And he has tried after Max Muller and Dayananda Saraswati, who has established the Arya Samaj, Ramatirtha, who went abroad to propagate. It is Aurobindo who has given a thrust to entire Vedas and made Western people to understand such a wonderful language. He had the gift of language in all 4 languages, Latin, Greek, English, Bengali, as well as some Hindi also. Have I lost? Hello? Laju? Yeah, momentarily it lost, I believe. So when he had that experience, the first time one could know how the Narayana Manamayam, what Madhvacharya has said, has been exemplified by Aurobindo only. After that, I have not seen or heard of any instance where people, have... Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear now? Yeah. Oh, no, here it's okay, I think. Now I have got the data card on. So I'm having, because I am not depending on Wi-Fi now. So, what Srimad Acharya said, Narayana Manamayam, this is the only instance I have heard of. So, I have requested others if you anything, because this has been recorded in the history, and everyone knows, and in Aurobindo's life history also everyone knows. So, with this, what happens is that when you get into that bhava, nothing matters to you. Not only that, it gives you enormous strength. The enormous strength, even when you are doing karma or upasana, even when you do some work, say you are associated with some trust, or even own family, you are managing the affairs and all, it gives you more strength. When you are giving it more strength, because you are not affected by any expectations, you are not affected by anything, you objectively do, you go on, don't go on, vacillate, whether this will happen, whether he will think like that, whether should I speak this. Even when you want to speak into the house, you think twice or thrice, even to your wife, because whether she will understand this way or that way. Nothing will happen. You speak, go about it, they will understand. And even if they have some different understanding, they will come to know what you exactly mean. That will happen because our bhava is very perfect. We are open, nothing to be. That is the fearlessness. When we say that is the fearlessness, that fearlessness only we saw in all across. Once that fearlessness come, our expression is very very well through across the board. So that is why, because when Acharya, when he says for this particular sloka, ye viduhu saha ekatvat, because when he is there, once you know he is there to guide you, he is there to guard you, he is there to take you, he is there to be with you, nothing else matters. That bhava, because once you think, why should you do this, why should not we do this, whether this, because your past experience is guiding you, because you might have done something like that, something else must have happened, it is coming to the fore. One of the greatness of the Yoga Vasishta, why it will be sort of appealing to the modern sort of students or modern people, who are accustomed to the modern way of life, it is a very rational. It says, don't believe in fate. Fate is nothing. You believe in your action, your excellence, what you feel, you do it to the best of your ability. Have the positive stance. Don't have a negative stance. Negative stance, thinking, something, if positive happens, if someone gets the negative, you don't think about it. You just go, for what is good at this point of time, how it is occurring to you. You go about, nothing will happen and all. In fact, that is one verse in Yoga Vasishta, it says, even if the child says something with a reason, accept it. But if Brahma says something without reason, reject it. Such a bold statement you can't see any other scriptures. They say Brahma has said, Acharya has said, this has said. He says, go with the reason. That is one scripture which says reason. What the people call rationalist. In South, in Tamil Nadu, these people call themselves rationalists, this atheist and all. They are not rationalists, they are non-rationalists. See, if you are a rationalist, you will understand the cause and effect, and accordingly you will understand. You don't have to go to the temple or anything like that. You understand at least the human behavior, human excellence, and the human highest sort of a knowledge which pursues that. That is good enough. Then you will not have this caste creed or anything like that. See, Savayar has said, ஜாதி இரண்டொழிய வேறில்லை சாற்றுங்கால் நீதி வெளுவா நெறிமுறையில் இட்டார் பெரியோர் இடாதார் இழிகுலத்தோர். So once you understand, that is a rationalist. The same rationalist is propounded in North India, somewhere in Srinagar, in Kashmir. They have, this Yoga Vasishta is so popular. It is such a rational document. It says so. And it also says, don't bother about, because we are talking about all Panchabhuta and trying to analyze. So why the sky is blue, while the sea water is also blue, and why there is a wave. Because we go by all philosophical sort of embodiments of everything. The waves are, because even Advaita also there is, it is like a wave. So the life is like a wave, it is mithya and all. So mithya jnana rejection is built in our upasana, in Advaita upasana. So they say nothing, don't go by that. You try to see what is this, if possible try to understand, otherwise don't bother about it, ignore it. You go by your own action. So the final verse of Gita, the last verse of Gita, Yasya Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Patho Dhanurdhara Tratra Sri Vijayir Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. That means Yatra Yogeshwara, where you have got the Yogeshwara is nothing but inward journey, where you have got the steadfastness, but the Almighty has given a grace to go about, without any sort of wavering or vacillation. And Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, when you are fully embroiled, in your action, fully effulged in action, you are totally concentrating on your action for the benefit of not only you, those who are around you, those who you are trying to sort of impart, those who are trying to help. Once it is there, enjoy that journey. There is no destination. All we have to understand is, in all our scriptures, there is no destination. Destination means you will stop. There is no stoppage. You have to, it is a journey. Because your soul has come from various yugas, various births. Previous births also your soul was there. This birth it is there. The future birth also it will be there. It is a continuous journey. when it is going that you are accumulating your knowledge for not for this impermanent this birth only, the permanent your soul. This is going to be there in the chitta. Once the chitta is going to be, and then your intuition is going to help you. The intuition comes out of the chitta. That is why all the greatest physicists, Tao of physics, we were referring to this particular document last time. It has been written by one very, very famous scientist, and whose students, I think 4 of them have become Nobel laureates, such a great scientist. He says, scientists, when they put only hypothesis. The hypothesis is put the possibility. This may happen, this may not happen and all. When you finally prove the hypothesis proved. But the hypothesis can also be disproved. There are instances Nobel Prize has been awarded for propounding a hypothesis and proving it. And the same Nobel Prize is awarded for the same hypothesis being disproved. And the new one has come about and all. So that shows Nobel Prize is not the final. See, suppose if someone says Nobel Prize is ultimate, someone else will come and disprove. It is a continuous journey. So therefore, we don't know, because so many existence of it. We were only thinking, finally we were having Big Bang only. Now they say it is not Big Bang, there is a black hole is also there. And this matter and the antimatter is also there, they say. Everything is there, because the involutions, they say. See, the entire world, which has come about from Big Bang, it also get into, and it also involution, they say. When the rays can't go beyond the entire gravity, the gravity is so powerful, it attracts it back, it collapses. When it collapses, what happens? No one knows. It gets into a sort of a blob. But it creates another Big Bang. It goes and hits somewhere else and it happens. And all. This is a continuous. This is mind. You cannot bring it into a framework and go on imagining it. These are all known. Whatever the scientists talking about, NASA is talking about, what is known till today. Maybe our future generation, our sons, grandsons, and their grandsons, they will know. At that time, entire, the astronomy, entire the geology would be totally different. They would have come to know of so many other things and all. So in this indeterminate thing, let us go by the permanent knowledge, finally who has given that. What it does is it enables to do the action at that point of time. In Treta Yuga, you would have done the action as required at that point of time. In fact, in Treta Yuga, if you see, Dharma and all what we think, Dharma has been established and Dharma has been... Dharma was different at different point of time. Even the family life, what we are having, a person, husband and wife, one-to-one, and all these things have been come later. It is Svetaketu, one Mahan whom we have discussed in one of our discussion earlier. He is supposed to have brought about. The Svetaketu, when he was having, Uddalaka, his father, who was there, he was there at that point of time. There is no differentiation. There is no, I think, one man, one lady, that relationship was not there. Promiscuity was all abound. And Svetaketu was startled to see in his own house when it happened, when his mother walked out. Then he thought, we will have to bring about Dharma. He created that Dharma. That Dharma was finally accepted. And based on that, which only, finally the entire Dwapara Yuga also came about. If you really see finally how Yadavas have perished, it is also adharma. They didn't follow the dharma, and each of them, they fought against it. Even Krishna's own clan, because he knows that they are supposed to perish, they perished. But then, because Krishna has spawned in Yadava, and his same Kula, they should have flourished, because he is the biggest primordial power himself. That doesn't happen. It is because karma bandhana. They also pay for that. Their souls also existed. This is a continuous journey. So what we are doing is a permanent knowledge. Permanent in this birth and permanent in every birth also. In Madurai, the Meenakshi Amman temple and all have come. The Pandya's time and and afterwards these Nayakas, they have all made it. And all. The oldest temple, Balraman must be knowing, there is one Immail Nanmai Daruvar Kovil is there. That is the first temple. Even today, people throng to the temple. It's the oldest temple. Even people don't know when someone says Agastya has installed that Shiva statue and all. That is the fine. It is time immemorial. You go there because everywhere, what happens in the sanctum sanctorium, the energy is accumulated. When you go and pray, you also get part of that energy. That influences. It gives the vibration. that makes you, still more, blissful, and, very clarity comes to your mind. Your actions are also accordingly, the conditioned. So this temple so old, people say, you go and stand in that sanctum sanctorium. What you get is immeasurable. Even this COVID days, I understand people are going to the temple now. Meenakshi Amman temple is closed, because of all those security and all. The people go, because that is older to Meenakshi Amman temple. The idea is the timeless energy, the timeless knowledge, the imperishable knowledge. We will have to go about that. So when we talk about that Vidyayam, Avidya, all those things, because what we said, with the Yatartha Jnanam, once we have it, Sukha Jnanati Rupatam, Rupa Jnana we skin. Nama Rupas and then Rupa Swarupa we try to get that. That is what we are getting it. Vidyam Vishniyatma Jnanam Avidyayam Mittajnana Nindanam. This is what Raghavendra Swami, whose Aradhana is going to come, he is said is in Kantartha. Avidyaya Anyata Jnana Nindayat. Reject whatever is not impermanent knowledge. He says Mrityum Dukkha Jnanadinisham. So whatever Dukkha Jnana is there, that perished. The Mrityum is for the sort of a death of the Avidya. Avidya death is Mrityum. Tirtva. Vishnu Jnanad Atma Jnanena. Amritam Anandanubhava Lakshanam. Always you are Anandanubhava Lakshanam. This is what Rayaru Kantartha is precise, concise, and absolutely to the point. He has given that. His Kantartha for Isavasya Upanishad is so beautiful. Every time you read it, you don't read like any other sort of, the tika for that. Because it is for people like us. Jaitirtha is huge, humongous. So beautifully he has written. No one can detest that. He questions everyone, including, the Isavasya Upanishad of Shankara, even other tenets, what they have done. And Rayaru is to the point. He gives what you exactly should understand. Ashruta Prapnoti. Finally, once you get that bliss, that is it. So, one of the reasons, when we find, even there is one Swami Parthasarathi is there. He is also giving Upanyasa. He is based in Pune. His daughter also gives Upanyasa and all. He is giving all beautiful explanation of this Upanishad, Isavasya and all the Upanishads. So in the discussions, one of the things come to about how to understand this Vidya. What is the best concept we can understand? One of the perfect example or more perfect example, there could be still perfect, still it comes closer, we are able to get the understanding. It's like a pole vault. Like a pole vault, you need a long pole. So you have to run from a distance to take that pole and all. And you have to peg the pole into the hole in the ground. They made a hole with the metal hole. There you will have to put the ground, and then it elevates you to the level of the bar, and then you cross it. This is like that. See, the avidya knowledge, whatever is gathering is your experience. The vidya is the pole, which takes you up and up. Once you practice, you will not be able to reach that bar. You will have to go straightly 1 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet, and 3 feet, and all. Only one Russian has gone 19.2 feet. No one has still not done that. So that Upanishad, once you go on imbibing the Upanishad, it elevates you. That pole, Vidya, elevates you. Once it elevates you, you go there, and you also, the Jnana is there, you will also revel. The pole when you are lofted into the air, by the pole, you enjoy that, you revel in that knowledge. But you don't stop with that. Once you come to the bar, you will have to cross the bar and fall on the other side. You will have to leave the pole. So you should not revel in the knowledge. So Vidya, scripture, it gives you sort of enchantment. You go on enchanting it, if you don't leave the pole, you can't cross the bar. But you use it, elevate yourself to go to that level. And once you reach the highest level, cross the bar and get to the other side. That is the full bliss. So this is like a pole vault. So this is exactly, what possibly we will have to understand Vidya and Avidya both together. In this, both Avidya and Vidya once we together, what happens? Yes, Vidya and Avidya, what is that? We are rejecting Vidya and Avidya. What is that we are going to do about? And what are all the benefits after that? That benefits, we will come to know the forthcoming 3 slokas. Already we have realized the benefits. It takes you, gives you mukti or moksha. What is that mukti or moksha? Mukti or moksha is final bliss. And once you reject avidya, you should not revel in vidya only. So you you elevates it, and then you reach to the highest knowledge. You don't bother about it. That is it. And both we will have to understand. That is why some people who may be very, very highly knowledgeable in the scriptures, still they are not able to get you that bhava where you can attain that final bliss. The continuous bliss you are not able to attain that, mainly because they are reveling and enraptured in the benefits of bliss. See, you will get lot of Swamijis. Nowadays, with the Swamiji means no one, without a big infrastructure, he can't be a Swamiji. Other than, lot of Swamijis are springing around. Apart from, so in those places, what they are finally do, they try to give, we will take away your everyday life, whatever sorrows are there and all. These are all, because they are reveling in the knowledge only. The man who has really understood, like Ramana Maharishi, the people, who were there in, because Dayananda Saraswati, Aurobindo Ghosh and all those people, they impart the knowledge, they enable you, finally you attain that stage and finally you go after, you pole vaulting. The Vidya should enable you to cross and finally you forget about it. Once you cross that, it is eternal bliss. Once you reach that stage, you don't have to bother this way or that way. It gives you the final propensity to that. The next three slokas are will look like more or like repetition of the last three slokas we have seen, that is 9, 10 and 11. The same thing will appear, but of course with a different propensity and different focus. 12, 13 and 14 we will see the next week. 12, 13 and 14 will really give you the Swarupa Jnana, and not only the Swarupa Jnana and Upasana towards the Swarupa Jnana, it will take you. It is like a same pole vault only, because that we will get to know that. In that they are also giving certain finer elements which we continuously, because we have to keep it in mind. Some of them will appear to be, why they are telling it, may appear to be repetition. See, this is what is happening. What has been said, they reject the avidya. It's not only in this Upanishad, it is also there in the Katha Upanishad also. In fact, there are 5 slokas. Why they are so particular that you leave the avidya and all? Somewhere, it will, some sort of, remnants will remain. Finally, something will crop up, which will, some impermanent knowledge will crop up. Once you start reveling it, it is like a sort of, the virus. It will take you away from your, the correct path that you are going. To avoid that, they are cautioning. See, the childlike caution. We take the child, we put the vaccination 3rd month, you put the vaccination in 6th month and 9th month, 12th month. It is like that. They are trying to vaccinate and prepare you so that you get that knowledge, whatever is possible in this birth. I think with this, I will try to conclude today's, and we once again send our condolences to the neighbor of Sri Raghavendra in the one more soul. Akashat patitam toyam idagachati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigachati. We pray for that. With this, we will close this, and if we have any sort of questions, points or discussions, we can do that, or we can go to Shanti. Prabhupada, you were able to hear, in between some disturbance was there. You see, for instance, if you see in the Pandavas, you take themselves, Pandavas, they also, because they are so, Yudhishthira is Dharmatma, he should not have first, because he had one weakness of, which has not been highlighted most of the time. The playing the game was his weakness. Weak point, see, that was, of course, he was not continuously doing it and all. He had some affinity for that. Even though it is like that, exactly, the avidya, what it comes, sometime along, because today, even today, in evening, when we were young children, we would have played, some toys or some games. Today, even if some young children play, even at the 60s, 70s, we try to see or sometimes, jokingly participate in that. So that affinity is there. For him, once, like cricket, we may not be actually interested, but some good matches going on, if you put on the TV, I think we will try to interestingly watch. It is like that. So he is having full dharma jnana. Somewhere along at the back of his mind, that remnant was there, which we were talking about. That remnant has, and he went to the extent of even pawning his own wife. See, once it is like a virus. It catches, it expands, it takes base in you, it takes you. Then you realize when the damage is done. This is like Pandavas are the biggest example of everything that has happened, because in that Krishna has showed us whatever has to happen. In fact, there is a one great even Western writer also has written, You write all novels, stories, and great epics and all. You conceive a plot. He says there is not even a single plot which is not conceived in Mahabharata. There are every plot. You say adultery, it is there. You say treachery, it is there. You say friendship, it is there. You say every kind of plot is there. And all. It has given as a Mahabharata is that is why our Acharya is considered to be a Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnayam. But the thread of dharma is going through the entire thing. So you will have to pick it up and tie it up together throughout the Mahabharata. That Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnayam, why he considered it is one of the Upanishad. It is more than the Upanishad. That is why he wrote that Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya. And then he has written, for that also is the Sangraha also is written. Those things and other, Jayatita and all, they have expounded on that. This is very much required. In Mahabharata, there is everything, whatever you conceive is not there, including our bhakti, whatever is talking about, and whatever we are talking about in Dvaita, everything has got a pramana in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, even no one can say and all. But when you try to twist or something like that, they have given very straight. Mahabharata doesn't go by couching and all, straight. That once they say this is it and this is it and all. See, Rama, on the other hand, he's come here to know what is an ideal human being. So, ideal human being to be like a Rama is not possible in this yuga. Maybe, because that is why in the 11,100 years and when he ruled, Satavashta Sahasrani, there was no requirement of any avatara because everything was okay. Everyone was okay. There is no treachery, no adultery, no crime. Everyone was Dharma Purusha. But Mahabharata is one where you can think of all Upanishads. All Upanishads is there and all. Yeah. So with this, I think we will go for the Shanti Pata. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Kshnapnamastu. Very happy Nakachaturthi to everyone. Tomorrow is Garda Panchami. Let us celebrate and all the best.